Right then. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are from. Hey, bro, how's it going? Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing amazing as always. Don't forget to, like the stream, all that stuff. Got to do the YouTube business. But I hope everyone is doing amazing. We're gonna start now. We'll just give it a couple minutes. Make sure everyone's here. Good morning. Good afternoon. Right, the audio is great as well. Just move this back a little bit. Right, so let's get started, shall we? Let me just drag this. Oh, right. There we are. There we go. We should be good to go now. All systems go. So, we'll start off on the fundamentals like we always do. Just give us 1 second. I just need to pull up. Because I can't really read the messages. I've got to pull it up on my phone. Just give us 1 sec. Right. Okay. Right, let's get it. Let's get it. So, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a good start to the week yesterday. Obviously, it's Tuesday, the 17th of September today. We're coming into halfway through, hump day of the third week of the month. Now, the third week isn't really too big fundamentally. We do have little bits and pieces here and there. Like you can see, we have Canadian CPI throughout this week. But in terms of USD, in terms of American fundamentals, which is what we care about, there isn't really much going on. We've got retail sales and, there's the standard half one red folder news, obviously. But there's no real big news. Like we had the big CPI, the PPI, all that stuff. We had that last week. So we're coming into the third week. We are in the third week, coming to halfway through. It's another Chinese bank holiday, not a JPY bank holiday. And in terms of like fundamentals for the rest of the day, we don't really have anything else to worry about. What trading am I doing? I trade Forex, crypto, gold. I use ICT strategy as well. I use AMD, fair value gaps, and liquidity to trade that. But yeah, fundamentally, we've got an FOMC speech in about half an hour, but it's not a big one. We haven't really got any routine half two news. We just had that half one Canadian CPI and US retail sales. So, now that that's out the way, we don't really have anything else to worry about. But, as always, guys, just make sure you're liking up the stream. It really does help me out. I hate to ask for the YouTube business, but, it's got to be done. Just hit the like, and then we'll carry on with the stream now. But it really does help me out. So, fundamentally, nothing to worry about. Now, moving on to GJ on Bitcoin. GJ and Bitcoin and gold. It is a bit of a mess. We'll run through my analysis yesterday, although I think I may have got rid of it. I'm not sure. We'll run through my analysis from yesterday and see how that's going. Right then. So, what was I looking at yesterday? I'm going to try and find ways to just... Is there a way to... Yes. Right. Alright, that's perfect. I was struggling to read the messages. Like, I use OBS, if anyone's heard of that. But I was on the phone reading the stream chat. But now I can just read off of the... here, which is much better. So, GJ's just started moving. It looks like that, doesn't it? We've just inverted a fair value gap here. It looks like we're going straight into that distribution move. If we just start off on the higher time frames. So we've got all this. We've got a weekly and a monthly up here. We don't really need them, but they're not really in our way. So we're going to keep them there just to keep an eye out for when we come back to them. So, we don't really need to do anything on the weekly. The daily equal lows right here. Is it? Almost. Bit of a mess. There's not really much stability. Well, There's not really much structure. Like, we've got fair value gap to come back to up here. We've got a weekly one here, but no daily ones. We are looking a bit bullish, though. I was expecting us to come and take out this liquidity, to be honest with you. I was expecting to take out this external sell side, but we haven't done that yet. This could obviously just be a retracement, but as I said, we don't really have structure. So coming back up, there's not really anything to react to other than the stuff up here, which is pretty much near my swing trade entry, which isn't the best thing, but we can move. We do have the weekly, which I'm assuming we'll respect, or we'll at least try and respect before coming to those daily fair value gaps. But that's what's going on in the high time frames. You know, daily, a bit messy. 4 hour, what's going on here? 4 hours coming up to external buy side. If we just draw this out up here, coming to that external buy side, whilst also being inside of a 4 hour fair value gap. That's what we're inside of right now. We've took sell side. We're coming to take buy side. We can get rid of this. We don't need that. If we go to the 1 hour, we'll see what's going on there. So we've... this makes a lot more sense now. So this is the story. Okay, remember when I was talking about context and how we had to have context, guys? This is basically the context of this. This is the story of GBP JPY on Monday, the 16th of September. So we basically accumulated throughout Asian session, like through Sunday night, as you can see, Sunday night through to Friday night through to Monday morning. We were basically accumulating the whole time. Then we went to the downside, manipulated to take out, this sell side liquidity over here, which obviously will give us that bullish retracement. You know, we've got a bullish cooling off period basically for a bearish move. So when we take the sell side, that's what it's like. And you know, it was a liquidity grab. So we've done all that. We've accumulated manipulated to the downside, took liquidity, then had a bullish move off of it. This fair value gap, what is that? There's a 4 hour one here. So we've pushed up in the distribution move, which is perfect. You know, this is going to allow us to basically know what's coming next. So we've had that distribution move. I suppose you could even just call this the distribution still. Oops. So we've had that. We came up to this fair value gap, respected it, took out this liquidity here, this internal liquidity over here. We took that out, respected this fair value gap, and completely came back down to this 4 hour, tested this 4 hour, respected it, and now we've come back up. So, you know, that's how liquidity works, by the way. That's the story. Like, we take internal on our way to take external. So, you know, you could have held through that. But anyway, the story is we've had our accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we are looking for either an expansion, a reversal, or an accumulation. We've got three things there now. To be honest with you, because we're in the New York session, I'm not going to expect an accumulation like how you think it would happen, like this type of accumulation. I'd expect something. If we're going to accumulate, it's going to be a bigger range, simply just because we've got more volume. So we need to make more liquidity, basically. So we just build up a massive accumulation range, much bigger than the previous one. Like this, it'll be like a bit bigger than that because we've got volume, we've got bigger candles, you know, all that stuff. So we are distributing, but this is a good place to call it the end of distribution as well, like end of a move up as well. So if I just drag this over, we don't really need to have it there. The end of the distribution, because we're taking external, internal, and we're in a fair value gap. So if we basically if we grab liquidity, if we grab it, we come in and flip in one candle, we can enter there. If we sweep, we want to look for a candlestick pattern. So we'll see how that goes. And we could literally just look at taking shorts. Now, the reason I'm looking at taking shorts here, is because of the first thing. We're not expecting an accumulation. Why? Because we are in New York session. We have the volume. We have, you know, That's pretty much it. The volume. We have the volume time. We have the volume coming into the markets. So we're not really expecting like an accumulation as such. It might be a bigger consolidation range. It won't be a specific accumulation how you would think of one, where it's literally just equal highs, equal lows. It may be a bigger range, or maybe the same thing but a bigger range. Just a massive higher time frame accumulation, basically. That's what I'm saying. So there's that, and then there's also this bearishness. So we've just talked, or once we've took this, we will have just took buy side liquidity, which obviously gives us that bearish push plus the fair value gap. So we got two bearish confluences right here. Plus the fact is we're not expecting like a specific accumulation where we sit there and consolidate. So we can really look for sell entries around about here. Once we took this external, once we came up here, we can start looking for sell entries. If you go to the 15-minute, just to confirm like this, this would make sense with this as well. We'd have an accumulation, then we'd have a manipulation into this fair value gap, and then we have the distribution move to the downside. Now, I'm not looking at catching anything too big. It'll either be to here, or to this sell side liquidity, or to this down here, just to this fair value gap. So, you know, it's going to be a quick burst. Hopefully, we can get a nice quick push down, something like that, once we take this liquidity. So that's what's going on GJ. We're looking at taking a sell position. Let me just draw this out. So we'd have our manipulation into a 4-hour, I think, a 4-hour fair value gap, whilst also taking out external buy side, which will give us our basically bearish retracement. Now, I'm not like, this isn't a long-term bearish thing. This is literally just a quick scalp, a quick cool down after taking liquidity and respecting a fair value gaps. So we're going to expect that. We're going to wait for that to happen. And whilst we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to just first of all look at our exit. So obviously it'll be around about here, looking to manage here with my stops like just above there, like that, something like that. We're looking at about 2-hour trade, which is good. So once we come up here, grab or sweep this, take this, whatever, then we can start looking at that sell entry there. So that's GJ. That's what I'm seeing on GJ. Just give us 1 sec. But yeah, guys, remember to do the YouTube business. Just like the stream really quickly. It really does help out. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the first link too if you're new as well. So on Bitcoin, what did I say was going to happen yesterday? I said we were going to accumulate. Look at that. I said, I think I might have said we could come. Yeah, here we are. Sorry about that. Brain fart. I said that we're going to come and take this sell side liquidity over here and then consolidate. Look at exactly what's just happened with like no messing around. Literally straight to this candle, to this liquidity, sorry. Then we consolidate. And now this is what's happened afterwards. So we've consolidated as I thought we would. Then we've gone straight to distribution. As you can see, we've gone straight to distribution. You know it's distribution because it's not just like it's not like a quick up and then quick back down. It's like a consistently bullish or bearish move. But we have that distribution. Now this is more common on Bitcoin because Bitcoin's like more, it's like basically, it's because it's always open, it's traded more. There's a lot of regulation going into this now. There's a lot of manipulation coming into Bitcoin now. But this is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. So no real trade on Bitcoin. You know, we're waiting for that. We could actually take a sell position, to be fair. We are inside of a 1 hour, a 4 hour, and a daily. Pretty much just a daily fair value gap. We've took sell side internal. We're 14 minutes away from closing with a valid bearish fair value gap. We have not come to any fair value gaps down here. So we could really target this area or even this area down here. Now, the thing with X, which is the expansion or retracement phase, You do typically get it back to the accumulation range. It's basically supply and demand, but we do get it back to there. So what we'd want to see is coming back to some form of fair value gap or something. And I've just noticed internally, like super internally, we've got an accumulation, manipulation, and a distribution here. So we could blindly enter right now, I hope for the best, but I'm going to wait for a good entry. So basically what I'm saying is we're looking for an entry for a sell position on Bitcoin to come back down to here, maybe down to like here. But we got to wait and like see some structure first. We don't just want to get in now because we're late. We got to wait for price to come back to maybe like this fair value gap in about 15 minutes or something. Wait for price to come back to that fair value gap. Then if it respects it, take that sell entry there. It aligns internally and externally, so we're good to go there. But hello Faith, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Right, so that's Bitcoin. GJ, we're coming up to take this liquidity now. So we can start looking for an entry. So we can start looking for an entry now on GJ. We're not just going to take a sell straight away. We want to see something going on. We'll wait to see how this candle closes, at least, and then we'll look at what's going on there. So, yeah, GJ, we're taking liquidity, coming into that fair value gap now. Bitcoin, still chilling. We want to wait for this fair value gap to be valid. Like, once this candle's closed, then we come back into it, and then we take the sell entry. That's what I want to see. So that, and then gold. Gold's a bit messy. So we have had that accumulation I was talking about, or that we were still in yesterday, I think. Yeah, we were inside an accumulation yesterday. We're still inside of. Oh, we're in the manipulation now, but we've come back into that range. We have come into a fair value gap. You could have took buys off of that. The only issue is we were outside of a volume time there, so I probably wouldn't have took that. I would have waited for us to be in a volume time, which is 1 hour before to 2 hours after a market opens. And when we come into this fair value gap, it was about 11:30, which isn't a volume time. The volume time is 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. UK time for London session, and then 1:30 till 4:30 UK time for New York session. Right. AUD, New Zealand, again, just consolidated and just seemingly gone straight to distribution there. AUD, USD. I didn't even analyse that, so I don't know why that's there. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what I'm seeing here. We're going to wait for our entry now on GJ. As I said on Bitcoin, we've got to wait for some structure to be formed. In 10 minutes, if we close like this, wait for price to come back into this, and then we can take a sell entry there. Just like that. So we're looking at about 2R on both of these trades. In both of these trades, with GJ and Bitcoin, 2R trades on both of them. Pushing up this. No bottom wick. I'd expect it to flip. But that's pretty much it, I think. We just got to wait for this now. We'll see how this candle closes. If it wicks it, we're going to get in. Oh, sorry. I think this is a good time to talk about my announcement. I'm not making the announcement yet, but I've been working on something absolutely huge, like massive update coming to everything on Friday. I'm gonna make the announcement and formalize things, like tell you exactly what it is and how it works on Friday. But all you need to know is that something is coming on Friday. Massive. I've been working on this for months. It's going to be great, hopefully. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that, because it's going to be cool when it's released. Yeah, it looks so sick. I wish I could talk about it, but we've got to wait till Friday, and then we can then I can show you it. But what's going on with GJ? Come on. I want this to flip. If this flips, that's a grab and we can get in. If it closes, it's a sweep and we've got to look for candlestick patterns. Does that make sense? But yeah, it's changes to everything. It's like everything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to end up spoiling it and telling you what it is, and then I'm going to hate myself for it. So I'm just going to stay quiet. All I'm going to say is keep an eye out for Friday, either on the Discord or or on my Instagram. Keep an eye out. GJ is pushing. Jeez, have we got anything like on the 15 to the left? Not much. There's a inverted fair value up here, or inverse fair value up. There's basically a BPR right here, which looks like we're coming into. We're at the bottom of it. If we push up a little bit, we'll be in it. You know what we could do? We could do something really, really ballsy, and it could work. It makes sense. It's logical. We could literally just get in right now and expect that flip. If we flip, this would be amazing. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I think I might just risk half. I really want to get in, because if we flip, it'll be so cool. If I risk 0.5%, it's like 250 quid, isn't it? It's not too bad. But I think we could flip, Honestly, what's this? It's a 15, I suppose. Just a new 15, but we've got no bottom wick. A BPR is a balanced price range, so it's basically when two fair value gaps overlap. Something like this. Bam. It's basically where the third candle of the first fair value gap is also the first candle of the second fair value gap. That'll make sense in a sec. So let's say you got price action like this. Don't know why you got squares. They're supposed to be candles, but we move. And squiggly lines for wicks. Right, so see how we have a bullish fair value gap right here. Yeah. But see how it's also a bearish fair value gap right here. That means that the area that these overlap, so this area, basically, this area is a BPR, a balanced price range. Balanced, the key word here is balanced, and I want you to hold on to that. Balanced price range. Why balanced? Because it's two imbalances, and technically, well, sometimes two wrongs don't make a right. Here they do. Two imbalances equals balance somehow. That's the way it works. It's basically like a fair value gap on steroids. Hope that explains it. Right. What's GJ saying? Still in the same place. I'm not going to just take an entry. I'm going to look for something. Let's see how this 15 closes. We've got 5 minutes left. Bitcoin. 5 minutes left on this one as well. Then we can wait for price to come back to it. So if this closes like this, great. As long as it doesn't go below here, we'll call it here. As long as it doesn't go below there before coming back to the fair value gap, we're fine. Why? Because that's where we're going to be looking to manage. So if we come to that and then start retracing back up, I'm not going to get in there, am I? You know what I mean? So we got. Hopefully we don't go to one of our take profits or like management bits, spots, areas, prices, levels, whatever you want to call them. Right. So I think I'm going to wait for a candlestick pattern on GJ. It is safer. As I said though, if it's a grab and we close below the liquidity line now or liquidity zone now, we will get in. If it's a sweep, we got to wait for a pattern. It looks like it's going to be a sweep. I was anticipating a flip because we got no bottom wick as well. But you never know. We got to wait for a pattern probably. We got 3 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Got 3 minutes on this one as well. See how that goes. Gold's just an absolute mess. I'm just going to delete all of that and just leave gold for today. AUD New Zealand. We can keep it. We'll see how it goes. Come on, GJ. Nothing. In 3 minutes, we got a bit of USD yellow folder. Shouldn't really give us too much volume. Mess us up too much. This move up wasn't anticipating that. So we're not going to get an irregular move off of this when that's released. Hopefully, it should be good. We'll see how it goes. Doesn't like we're anticipating it too much. If you look at the volume. Suppose. Actually, no. Never mind. Yeah, if you look at the volume, if you look at the top left up here, you should be able to see the figure. It's there. You should be able to read it. But if you just look at this, right? So we're at 1 o'clock. We're at 4K. Then 4.1. Then half 1. 7.1K. Then half 2. 6.3K. And we're at 5.7K now. So we've actually got less volume than we did at the market open in the following candle, which shows that we're not getting an increase in volume, which shows that we're not anticipating this news, which shows that we're not going to get a massive reaction when the news is released. And that's a good way to basically trade fundamentals as well. You can tell when the volume's coming in. And also, just a note for any newbies, volume isn't. So if I take a 10 lot trade, volume won't show one person's took 10 lots. It will show that 10 lots have been traded. So that could be 10 people taking 1 lot trades, 1 person taking 10 lot trade, 5 people taking a 2 lot trade, 2 people taking a 5 lot trade, whatever it is. It will just show you how many lots have been traded, not how many people have traded. Does that make sense? We are pushing up towards the end of it. It's not looking like we're going to really beat it though. Probably maybe equal to. Nothing too drastic. 6.1k, 6.3k, we should be alright. I really am anticipating a flip on this candle though. Oh, sorry, I was. We've got 30 seconds left. It's probably not going to happen now. Maybe if we came into that fair value gap, we could have. If we pushed right into that and rejected off of it, it probably could have been stronger and could have rejected it. But this is looking like it's a grab now. A sweep now. See, obviously the 4 hour is the one that confirms that because it's the 4 hour liquidity. But on the 15, it's not like a quick reaction to it, which means we want to see a candlestick pattern now, not just like wicking back down here. So we want to see a candlestick pattern. We want to stay on the 15. We don't really want to go any lower because if we go lower, that's when it kind of starts getting a bit funky and you start getting false signals, false breakouts, stuff like that. So we are going to stick to the 15, stick to the 1 hour, and basically just wait for a candlestick pattern to form. You should probably know this, but you probably already know this. But the one I want to see is an evening star candlestick pattern, which is obviously this bullish engulfing, a doji, and then a bearish engulfing. That's what I want to see. Now, we've closed with a valid bearish fair value gap on Bitcoin. So if we come up to this now, before we go down to here, then we can start looking at taking sell entries. Then we go to a lower time frame and look for candlestick pattern. So we've got two setups going on here. We've got two ideas coming into play. We've just got to wait for these, confirmations, these little bits of confirmation. And as I said yesterday, it's very important to wait for these confirmations, like the candle closes, the higher time frame bias stuff, like the external liquidity. It's important to have that, and it's important to have context with your trades as well, like why you're getting in. We've just took buy side, so we're targeting sell side now, internal sell side, stuff like that. Chill music. Yo. I might actually look at putting music in the back of my streams, I'm trying to figure that out. Can you analyze AUD USD, please? We'll have a look. Let me just see GJ a sec. So, alright, we're coming into this now. We're coming into this fair value gap. The inverse fair value gap, sorry. So if we start respecting it, we could take an entry there. Just taking buy side internal as well. So if we get a candlestick pattern that's bearish on the 5 minute, to be fair, we can actually take this trade. We could get in now. Honestly, we could get in now. We've just grabbed this liquidity. Internal. Fudge. I'm risking half on this trade, guys, okay? So not 10 lots. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, I'm on the 1 minute. Oh, shit. I thought I was on the 5 minute then. Sorry. That's why I was panicking. Not panicking, but rushing around. I thought I was on the 5 minute, but I was on the 1 minute. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Right, so AUD USD. Let's have a look at that. Clear accumulation right there. Clear. Clear as day. Bam. 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 AMD. I don't really need to do anything else. All I need to say is wait for a manipulation. Once we manipulate, trade in the opposite direction. And that's as easy as it gets. Manipulation. Distribution. Now, where have we distributed into? Where are we accumulating? So we've just took buy side external on the 4 hour on AU. So we are expecting a bit of bearishness. Pair that with the 4 hour fair value gap here that we've got, which we've seemingly respected if you look over here. Go to the 1 hour. Yeah, we've respected that. So what you'd want to do is align internal with external. And that's what we're doing now, really. Got another AMD cycle right here. Distribution. Obviously, distribution can be anywhere. You can target wherever you want. You don't really need to... don't need to target like massive lows or nothing. But, there's areas to manage here. There's here, and obviously the ultimate take profit would be down here. I would already be in this, to be honest, because now I can manage. That's the reason. Well, not the reason, but that's the pro of being in early, because we've had that Morningstar candlestick pattern. I would have got in literally there. It's so textbook. We manipulate up into a fair value gap, form a candlestick pattern that aligns with our idea, and then take that trade. Now, obviously, you can align it with other things like higher time frame stories with the external liquidity here being took, external AMD, internal AMD. So what you'd really want to do now is wait for a fair value gap to form on the 15. One has formed. There we are. Perfect. For us to manipulate into. So wait for us to close like up here. Once this candle closes up here around about this area, this will be a valid manipulation into a fair value gap, where you can take your sell positions from. So basically what I'm saying is, wait for price to respect this fair value gap whilst also closing outside the accumulation range. Then go to a lower time frame, look for candlestick patterns and take a sell entry. Everything else aligns with it. All you need to do is align the internal. So that's AU. What about GU? Yeah, I'll look at GU. Let me just I'll get it up, and then we're gonna have a quick look at Bitcoin and that first. So GJ, okay. So we are in that now. We have technically just took buy side as well. I want to see a bit more of a confirmation though. Bitcoin. So we've come to that fair value gap now. Let's see how we react to it. We came into a 5 minute there as well, I think. 5 minute just up here. We've come into that and seemingly respected that. We'll see how the 5 minute goes. If the 5 minute shows that we're respecting it, that means that the 15 will show that we're respecting it, so we can get in. Once we start showing signs that we're respecting this 5 minute fair value gap up here, we can get in. So there's that. GU, what's going on with GU? Pushing down, very nicely. Okay, standard. Bam. 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 Look at this as well. The high of manipulation was a candlestick pattern. Guess what candlestick pattern it was? Morning star, perhaps. Yes, sir. Of course it was. Go to the 4 hour. Let's see if there's a fair value gap. No. Fair play. There isn't. We did just take liquidity. This has probably happened on the DXY. The reason I'm slowly finding this out on all the USD pairs is because I don't trade USD pairs usually. And we're slowly going through them. So, it could have been easily done by just looking at DXY, but, we've took external. We've had this. You could have got in there. Textbook stuff. But because we're in the distribution, taking out this liquidity over here, we're going to get a little bullish reaction. So you could take a buy back up to the accumulation range. We might even retrace completely back up to the manipulation high. This was a grab, as you can see, a grab. We've wicked it and flipped. But yeah, I'd anticipate an accumulation next. I wouldn't really trade unless we see anything else. Unless we see this, sorry. Okay. So that's GU. Wait for an accumulation. You've missed the move, basically. That's what I'm telling you. Bitcoin. Pushing. Bitcoin is pushing. It does not want to respect those. So that might be invalid. So any entry possible? We'll see. We'll see. We're accumulating on a lower time frame. If we manipulate up on the 1 minute, we can take a sell position. If we manipulate down, we're going to chill and leave it for a little bit. Right then. Pushing. Now what we need to do is wait for signs that it's respecting it. and that's it. Then we get in. If we don't respect this fair value gap, the trade is invalid. If we respect it, we're in the trade. Pushing out. If this is pushing out, I'm going to head off. Not yet. Not yet. Hasn't closed. It is definitely looking that way, though. I can't lie. But you know, this is why you have clear confirmations. You wait for those confirmations. You wait for the context. You have your context. You have all your confluences, all that stuff. That is why you wait. That's why you have to wait. You don't just rush into things. You got to wait for confirmation. Yeah, definitely looking like that. We'll see how it closes. If it closes outside, then yes, GJ is gone. If it wicks it and flips, it's not gone yet. But you know, if this is a missed move, or sorry, not a missed move. If this is, and if this invalidates our idea, it is what it is. We're gonna head off. We're gonna go about our day, and we're not gonna give two fucks. To be honest with you, that's how you want to. That's how you want to be. You just don't want to care. It doesn't matter if we trade or not. 2 minutes left. Bitcoin's pushing. It's gone up a whole % in this one candle. Doesn't seem to be off of news though, I don't think. I don't know what that is. This is ridiculous. There's nothing to explain this really. That's yellow folder. It could be the FOMC speech, but it's yellow folder. We usually have FOM minutes or FOMC speeches that are red folder that actually do affect the markets. Never ever really see a yellow folder affect the markets like this, or like how it looks like it's affecting it. It might obviously it may not be this, maybe something else. It might just be price doing its thing, but you know, very, very, very irregular. Especially the past like 3 minutes. Right, so we got what 1 minute left on this 15. If this 15 has closed outside this fair value gap, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go about my day, go do my thing. It is what it is, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll give it 1 minute. See what happens. If we close inside this inverse fair value gap, then we're going to continue to look for our entry. If it's closed outside of it like this, then our entry is invalid, or our idea is invalid, the same way it is on Bitcoin now. So then we'll go about our day. So first of all, I'm just going to get rid of this, and this, and this. That is still the distribution, by the way. Like we'd already had the internal distribution. Once we take out the low or the high of the accumulation, once we take the other side of the accumulation, that is when that distribution move is too far gone to enter, kind of thing. Right then, 10 seconds. It's pretty obvious what we're doing. We're going to start getting rid of this. We can go to that, and this as well. And now we can just go about our day. It looks like we have gone straight to distribution here. And, you know, that's the thing. It's unpredictable. We never know we're going to go straight to distribution until we go straight to distribution. That's why you want to look for these confirmations with, you know, into a fair value gap with candlestick closes, pair that with volume time and external stories. You know, all the confluences that I tell you to look for, all the context, the confirmations, the fair value gap, the candlestick pattern, all those things that I tell you to look out for. That's why we look out for all of those things, because that is the differentiator between a manipulation move and straight to distribution move. So obviously you can't really catch the straight to distribution move because we're trying to anticipate the end of manipulation. Does that make sense? So we can't really catch these AD moves That's the only flaw I would say in my strategy. Now, you can obviously figure out how to do this. I don't want to do that. I can't be asked. I'm happy with what I've got. If you want to figure out how this works, or think of it like this, right? It's like the probability. It is the probability. What I want to say is, you could take every single time we go outside of the accumulation range, the first candle to close outside of it is, let's say, this example, we've closed outside of it bullish. If we closed bearish, you would take sells. What you could do is you could literally just take buys every single time this happens, and the odd time that we get an accumulation distribution, you will win. The odd time. But every other time, you will lose because it'll be a manipulation. And that's what I figured out. That's basically the journey that I've went on. I figured that the probability is we're going to accumulate, manipulate, distribute. So there's no point trying to actually catch an accumulation distribution move, because we have to pick our side. Basically, you either try and catch the AMD or you try and catch AD. Now, if you're trying to catch AD, you're not going to be a profitable trader because it doesn't really happen that much. But if you're trying to catch AMD, there is going to be times like this where AD occurs and there's nothing you can do about it because you're trying to call the end of this move. But what comes after the distribution? Accumulation. So it is just better to step away from the markets now. You know, if you're forcing trade, if you want to force a trade, any of that shit, go and do some back testing, go review your journal, or just go and be a kid, because really, you don't really want to be forcing trades. You know, all that stuff. I'm going to go about my day now. I'm not forcing any trades because I'm not a child. I'm going to go and do some shit. And come back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. If you're new here, make sure, you know, YouTube business, all that shit, subscribe, like, blah, 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 blah. Priority is to click the second link in the description. That'll take you to the free course, which I'm doing a giveaway on. I'm doing a giveaway on the free course. There's even bigger news on Friday, so keep an eye out for that. Join the free Discord, first link in the description, and free course, second link in the description. To actually have a chance of winning the giveaway, I'll be announcing the rules and stuff in a few weeks. But to actually win the giveaway, you need to be in the free course. Spots are limited, so that'll be going soon. The second link in the description is the free course. If you want to win a funded account or paid or free paid access to my course, join the free course, finish it, and there's some other rules as well, which I'll be announcing in a few weeks. That's all from me, guys. Have a good rest of your day.